How's it going, guys? In today's episode of Buyer's Guide, we're going to be going over the Mk4 Golf. Produced between 1997 till 2004, it was designed in Germany and produced in no less than 8 countries. The Mk4 Golf was offered in either 3-door, 5-door, and estate versions. It was built on VW's PQ34 platform, which many other brands in its stable is based on, like the Audi A3 Mark 1 and Jetta Mark 4, to name a few. In today's video, we're going to be covering purchase price, engine sizes, maintenance costs, and common problems. First up is purchase price. Mark 4 Golf start from 30,000 Rand for poor examples, ranging up to 60,000 Rand for really clean examples. Next up is engine sizes. Now, we're only going to be going over the normal engines. Performance models should be in another video in the future. In South Africa, we only had 4 engine choices, starting with a 1.68 valve, which we covered in the previous video, which makes 75 kilowatts and 148 Newton of torque. Next is the 1.820 valve naturally aspirated, which isn't so common and makes 92 kilowatts and 170 Newton of torque. Next, the infamous 2-liter 8 valve, which makes 85 kilowatts and 172 Newton of torque. Lastly, we come to the smoker in the room. The 1.9 TDI had 3 different power outputs depending on the year model. Power range from 66 kilowatts to 81 kilowatts and 210 Newton meters of torque to 240 Newton meters of torque. Now, on to maintenance costs. All petrol versions will practically use the same service parts, which include oil filter, air filter, and spark plugs. That should set you back plus minus 800 Rand. Labor is depending on the workshop or mechanic you use. The TDIs will cost you plus minus 700 Rand in parts. Tires. The 1.6 use either 14 or 15 inch. Expect to pay 550 Rand upwards. The 1.8, 2-liter and TDI use either 15 or 16 inch. Expect to pay 700 Rand upwards. Brakes. All normal versions of the Mark 4 Golf use the same front and rear brake setup. Expect to pay around 2,500 Rand including labor all around depending on where you get it done. Suspension. Like the brakes, all suspension parts are the same across the model range. Front shocks will cost you plus minus 600 Rand, rear shocks plus minus 400 Rand. Control arm bushes, the big one 200 Rand, small one 100 Rand. Tie rod ends plus minus 250 Rand per pair. Rack ends 250 Rand per pair. Ball joints 200 Rand each. Labor is depending on your choice of mechanic and parts that will need changing. Moving on to common problems. Like every car of its age, there will be a few issues that surfaces over time. The body. The Mark 4 actually has a very strong structure, although the paint can fade and it also suffers from a little scaly skin where the clear coat tends to peel. Control arm. The main bigger control arm bush tends to perish fairly quick and always needs replacement. I covered the cost of this earlier. Interior. Although VW put a lot to make this cabin feel quality, there is one part that they just failed on. The stupid soft touch coating that they use on all the hard plastics tend to peel, get sticky or scratch easily, which ends up looking horrible. Only fix is to clean it off. The wing mirror. A lot of Mark 4 owners would agree that this is one annoying part that goes crazy. When you adjust the right mirror, the left tends to move, and vice versa. Only fix is to live with it. Well, that's as far as I know. Hood lining and door card inserts. The glue that VW used was terrible, and after a while, all Mark 4s had a saggy hood lining and door card inserts. The only fix is to get them redone. Hood lining will cost you 1,000 Rand upwards. The door cards will cost you around the same price. Window regulators and window clips. The window regulators has a tendency to tangle and give up, resulting in loss of window usage. Also, the window clips that holds the glass into the track would break and also cause loss of window usage. Be prepared to pay nothing less than 700 Rand to get it fixed. Faulty door locks. All VW products from this era had this issue. As you drive, they would unlock or just not lock. Replacing them would cost 500 Rand upwards. Wiring. Wiring in the engine bay tends to get brittle and fall apart, resulting in shorts. Only fix is to rewire. This is costly and could set you back upwards of 1,000 Rand. The aircon vents. All Mark IVs suffer with this issue of flaky vents. When you put the fan on, these flakes fly all over. This happens when the foam on the directional doors get brittle and break off. Only fix is to strip the dash and use a high heat tape to replace the foam. This costs a lot of time. To round it off, the Mark IV Golf is a solid and reliable car with lots of comfort and features. There are a few common problems, but which car doesn't have them? For a car that's 18 plus years old, it's definitely worth buying.